Greetings, fellow crafters. 'Tis I, your Hello Queen. Welcome back to my court. Welcome if you're new. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and set up my canvas for the upcoming event put on by Purple Door Crafts called Get Your Big On. Come on back and we'll talk about it. Okay, so this is the second annual Get Your Big On. They did the last one and it finished up about the same time I started diamond painting, so obviously I didn't participate last year. But the Get Your Big On is doing a painting that is roughly 100 centimeters to at least one dimension. So she's allowing for 5 centimeters under. So if you have say one of the Dominic Davidsons from Diamond Art Club that is 98 by 70, you can use those. Which was my other option for this. I had two canvases that would qualify. I have a Dominic Davidson mountain castle, which is a picture of a window opening up onto Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany. It's 98 by 70, and it's a square. The other one I had that would qualify is this one, which is a Craftibly, and I haven't done a Craftibly yet, so that put it high on my list. As you can see, it's a round 60 by 100 centimeters. I don't recall if this one had to be round or if that's just what I chose, but it's a round. Okay. So this is the inventory sheet. It's already been inventoried. I will link up in the unboxing that I did for this one. And all of these are baggied already, but I don't like working out of baggies. I prefer to work out of containers. And this is a sticker. The reason that I decided to go with these containers is because these are great for legibility, but it makes the sticker really freaking huge. So it's like, I don't think these will fit on my round pots, so I'm going to use my Who Can knockoff Elizabeth Ward containers, which I don't use often, and kit this up, because I don't think these are going to fit on my other containers. So I do like the fact that they're stickers. That's definitely helpful. You can see the Sunset Crossing sticker that I keep on here. It has the name, the size, just 60 by 100. The shop was Craftibly, and it's a round drill. Now this event runs from April 1st through to the end of May. So you have 2 months to work on your project, which is good because it's by definition a big painting. So you're going to want some time. 311, 413. Now these get kitted up by quantity, so I'm trying to kind of figure out roughly what quantities we're looking at here. 807, oh my god, 310, 934. I don't have anything on here that tells me what quantities are which, but I mean, you can kind of gauge by the size of the bag. These are going to be our bigger ones. 310. That's a little on the smaller side. Now, if I have a color that... Okay. These are my big ones. Those are smaller bags, but they're really full. That's another big one. These ones aren't so full. That's pretty full. That's pretty full. That's pretty full. So I don't recall if you actually have to get this finished, considering Sherry's kind of well known for not finishing pictures. I don't think you have to. But I will link her channel, and if there's a specific video that she's talking about it, I will link that as well in the description below. I'm hoping to get finished. I have a lot of whips that I'd rather just not have more whips. But I've been kind of looking for an excuse to do this one for a while, so yay for me. I know she has this painting. She and I have ridiculously similar tastes when it comes to paintings. So if you like the paintings that I show, go check out Purple Door Crafts because she likes a lot of the same stuff I do. So, assuming you haven't already, she's got a much bigger following than I have. So, okay. Every time I see a painting that I'm going, ooh, I should get that, I look over and Sherry's either drooling over it too or she's bought it already. Okay, so I have 3 of these great big ones. I have the 42, I think it's 42 count. So I have 3 big ones, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of the medium size, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 of the small, and then a bunch of these teeny tiny little ones. So which out of these, that one feels really full. That one, do I think? 807. Oh my god. Okay, not that one. Okay, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Trying to shake them down to get an idea of how full they actually are. I'm going to say these 3. So 792, 807, and 311. I need my scissors. I thought these were individual, but they're not. They're like the ones we've gotten used to with Diamond Art Club, where they're all one big sticker sheet, which is fine. But they're still enormous. That's nobody's fault. It's okay. I like the idea that they're big. It makes it really nice for legibility. You can really see it, but it does mean that the overall sticker size is big. And that can be kind of a problem. Okay, so 807 is right here at the top, so I'm going to start with it. That's convenient. Suppose if I was really concerned about size, I could probably take the canvas number off since I don't really use that. And Sherry, unlike me, is not into kitting up or de-kitting. So she probably just worked straight out of the baggies and went, yeah, screw that kitting up crap. But I like having the containers. And I've heard so much good stuff from Craftibly, and I own 2 of their paintings, and I haven't gotten around to doing any of them because I have a lot of other paintings too. So, good call on that. Look at, there's that much left in the top of it. So, yeah, good call on that one. So for right now, I'm just going to stick them in there. I will eventually reorganize them. 792 is down here. This is going to seem a little on the weird, but I'm going to put any individual stickers that I don't immediately have a container for in there so they don't vanish. Because, you know, those things happen. $792. Okay, good call on the 792. Because I had my doubts there for a second that this was all going to go in. It is a 60 by 100, so having a lot of drills, yeah, that is full right to the top. 792. Okay. $311 is the other one I decided on. Let's stick that in there. Yeah, so there was no quantities on the inventory sheet. The inventory sheet is what I'm cutting up effectively. So I checked to make sure there was a bag of everything that it called for, but I have no way of knowing if the bags themselves actually contain enough for the painting or what quantities there are. $311. I'm about to get visited. Probably with little girls turning in their electronics for the night because it is kind of late. Hi.
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 You're scared.
It's also almost 10.
It is?
It is. It's amazing how much time goes away when you spend all of that time on your tablet.
Wait, you finished my name?
I did.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to look later on to find out how best to mount that so we can put it up on your wall. Okay, your sister, remind her she has to bring hers down too. They did spend about 2 hours at the park today running around and playing. So I don't mind letting them have their screen time. Okay, so that is all of those. 3, 8, 11 did fill pretty much everything there. I'm making a mess and not cleaning it up. Bad Halloween. Okay. All right. So all of these can now go into the next size down, which means some of these are probably going to have some overflow. So let's do 312 because it's like right here. I'm not a mom who limits much in the way of screen time. I mean, I spend most of my day on screens too, so I do try to get them off it before bed. Like what, a good an hour to half an hour before bed, I try to get them off it so that they can sleep better. But on the weekends, I'm a lot more lax with it, as evidenced by the fact that it's 9:30 at night and they're both still up. 312. Yeah, these would not fit on my round pots. Would not. Although I am quite certain, although I have not asked, the people at Craftibly seem awesome. So if I were to say, could you send me a inventory sheet with smaller stuff so that I can put them in different pots, they probably would. That's about as full as I dare do it. Okay, so that's got some extra in it.
I will bring hers down. I can't get her out of it until 9:31.
She's being a butt, is she?
Yes.
Yeah, big sisters are like that sometimes, aren't they?
You know what it's like?
No, I was the big sister. 823. 823 is here. Little sisters can be butts sometimes too, can't you? Yeah. Kitting up for the Get Your Big On event that my friend Sherry's putting on. You're supposed to do a painting that's 100 on one side.
100 times 60.
Well, this is the only one I have that's 100. I have one that's close, and she'll let you go as far as 95. It hasn't. Caitlin, you're not staying down here. You're going to bed. Making yourself at home is not going to let me get you out of that. Go get PJs on. It's 9:30 at night.
It's 9:30 now?
Yes. 9:31 even.
7 minutes she'll come down. That was longer.
No, that was almost exactly 2 minutes long.
Ah, children.
I had gotten halfway through a 6-minute long video, and Caitlin decided to interrupt and say, "You answered your tablet, or Bri, 3 minutes left."
Good enough. Let me plug that in, and you guys can go have your popo and head to bed.
Okay.
I had my popo early this morning from my bed.
Why would you have your melatonin in the morning?
I was joking around and just didn't want to have it.
Seriously? You're the one who complains that your brain doesn't shut down and you need help to go to sleep. And then keep absolutely everybody in the house out with you. Like, honestly, if that child doesn't sleep, nobody sleeps.
Yep. Hey, I have to sit next to that child.
Trying to get them all in here, and I'm thinking this was probably ill-advised. This is 823. Welcome to my house. Some mothers run a tight ship. I run a pirate ship. I get shanghaied by the little blackbeards I created. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have stopped and kept some of that back, but oh well. It's in there now. Okay. 934. Slice 917 off. I do like that this one has more customizable containers. I do like that, but it does mean that it changes the kit up process. When all of the containers are the same size, you just go ahead and kit up everything. But when you have multiple containers that can handle different things, then you kind of have to go, how am I gonna do this? Now, you can also get, although my Amazon here in Canada doesn't have them at the moment. All right, which one did you come out of? 312? Looks like 312. Ah! That was ill-advised. Don't try this at home, kids. Tried to put away 2 drills and ended up with way more out and about. Why do I do this to myself? Because I'm crazy. Oh, hey. There's a square drill in here. That's not from this painting. Okay. 934. So, yeah, I have kids. They drive me crazy. That is their job. They're workaholics. Wouldn't have it any other way, though. We drive each other crazy, too. 934 is in there. Four is kind of a greenish. Okay. And this picture is actually a little deceptive, actually. It continues down, and there's a pirate ship, or at least an old-timey ship that people now associate with pirates down here, and there's a... I'll bring up the canvas later on to show you the whole thing, but it's a really long picture with the lighthouse up top, with the sunset, and there's a pirate ship under the water. It reminds me of adventure. It seems to me like the start of like a Hardy Boys book or something. So Nancy Drew, 413. Nope, that's garbage. Let's not put it in with the good stuff. I'm losing my marbles. Let's do this where you can see it. Shall we? Okay. What am I doing? 413. Now when I'm done putting all these into containers, I will be rearranging them so that the symbol order makes sense. I don't really pay that close of attention to the actual DMC color when I'm working on it. I work entirely by the symbols. But I'm going to need the DMC colors on there when I go to kit this sucker in like July. June. Okay, 413. That fit almost exactly in there. Okay, and 310. Yeah, basically I've been waiting for an excuse to do this painting for a while, and now I have one. I purchased it on Boxing Day. No, not Boxing Day, Black Friday, when everything was on sale, because it's not a cheap painting. It's a 60 by 100. It shouldn't be a cheap painting. It was an expensive painting, but it's so pretty. And Craftibly currently has a bunch on there that I would like to get, but my unemployed ass cannot afford them right now, so darn eating all of this food and water and electricity, internet access. Okay. I might be able to squeeze the rest of that 310 in there, but you know what? I'm just not going to risk it. Okay. 310. All right. Let's figure out, because I've got 5 more of that size that I can do. Those don't seem this full. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, there's 6 that are that full. That one's not as full. Now we have 5. Almost like I planned it. Get all of this excess off. Okay, so 3746. 3746 is there. It's a lower class B, or lower case. Yes, we're having class systems for letters now. We don't let the aristocracy of letters interact with the peasantry. The things that run through my brain. Come on, fingernail in there. There we go. Okay. 3746. This one right here. Okay. 3746. Done, 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 done. Okay. 936. 739. 936 is the top of this one. That works out nicely. 936. Come on. Slide in there. How many colors are on this one? 3866 has to be the last one, so that'd be 39. This got 42 containers, so we'll get there. I knew there was a whole bunch of reasons why I picked this set of containers for this one. One of them was the size of the labels, the other was the number of containers. There's a method to my madness, I promise. Yeah, you can buy these containers in like small patches. Like if you're buying them, if you're buying these guys, you might get like 6 in the container, but if you're buying this size, you might get only 2. They aren't available currently on my Amazon. I think it's only this size that's available. The smaller sizes aren't. The children are behaving, apparently. Wait, no, misbehaving. I might be being paged. Daddy will figure it out. Caitlin sometimes gets herself so worked up that she can't calm herself down. So then Mommy has to go in and sing to her and get her to calm down and then figure out what the problem is and then help her fix it. Oh, I think we had a case of forehead meets arm cast. Oh, that would hurt. That would hurt both of them. Both the one with the broken arm. Yeah, Emily broke her elbow last week. That was the start of my wonderful week. And now she's got a big old plaster cast covering her arm from like all the way up to where your t-shirt would end, like from here, all the way down to around her hand with the requisite thumb hole there. And it's big and it's heavy, and if the two of them were wrestling and Caitlin got the elbow to the face, to the head, regardless of whether Emmy meant to hurt her or not, that would definitely hurt. And that sounds like something that would happen with my kids. But Daddy's got it sorted. I try not to go up there and interfere because I know Daddy's got it sorted. If it sounds like he's having difficulty handling the girls, I will go up, but if he seems to have it under control, I will just let him go. Because I don't want to undermine him. Parenting is a very delicate balance. But yeah, sometimes Caitlin gets herself so worked up over something, and it's usually something more emotional than physical, that she can't stop. She can't stop crying. She can't calm down. And at that point, we basically have to hit the reset button, and Mommy cuddles her up and sings to her and gets her to calm down enough that we can at least talk about what happened. That doesn't happen too often. It happened a lot more when she was a toddler. But she's turning 9. She can manage her feelings most of the time pretty well now. But every once in a while, she needs a mommy cuddle. Mommy cuddles with her and sings to her. That child has always loved to hear Mommy sing. She was a baby and a toddler. That was the only way I could get her to go to sleep. I'm to this day shocked that there aren't ruts in her bedroom floor from Mommy walking in circles, walking and bouncing, doing the mommy bounce, walking and bouncing and singing, and walking and bouncing and singing, to get her to be sleepy enough that I could put her, whenever we had a change, I would have to sing her right to sleep. And then I would slowly back off on that, where I would have to sing her right to sleep, and sleeping to the point where I could basically juggle her and she wouldn't wake up. And then I'd put her down and walk away. And we'd have to walk back from that, where I could sing to her and get her just to sleep and put her down. And then eventually get her down to the point where I could sing to her and she was just getting kind of sleepy, and I could put her down and continue singing to her and stay in the room while she was falling asleep, and then sneak out. And then eventually work down to the point where I could sing my way out of the room while she was still awake, and she would just fall asleep on her own. But it was always a process, and whenever we had a change, like we went from the crib in the upper position to the crib being lowered down, and then when we went from the crib to the toddler bed, she did not like change. She did not deal well with change. Emily, on the other hand, was just like, doo-doo-doo, I'm sleepy, I'm going to go to bed now. And I could tell she was ready for bed, because all I would have to do is put her, because I would always lie her down on her back, because that's what you're supposed to do. And once she figured out how to roll over, I could tell that she was ready for bed, because as soon as I put her down, she would just roll over on her belly and go to sleep. Okay. So now I gotta figure out, I've got a bunch of these, but we are gonna get into the weeds of okay, these are all very partial. We are going to get into the weeds of getting into these tiny ones, and they don't hold very much. Just want to make sure that the ones I'm putting in there that one's pretty full. That one's pretty full. Those ones are pretty full. That's pretty full. And I think we're pretty much just running down the gamut after that. Okay. So let's start with 718 here. It's in the middle of this section. Once we get into the tiny ones, I may have to get creative. Because it's not a straight across. There's lips here for you to be able to put your fingers in to pull them out. So I may have to do it so I have the symbol here and the DMC number here or something. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All these beautiful, rich jewel tone colors. Love it. But yeah, parenting is fun. $7.18. $154. $917. Okay. Did I lose one? Did I lose a section? $315. Ah, there it is. Got these two. I'm going to put them each on a container because they're right next to each other and they're both in this pile of heavier bags. $154. And $169. Come on. I know my thumbnail's a little on the jacked up side, but I should still be able to peel the back off of the sticker. This is exciting television. Watch the 41-year-old mother of two fight with a sticker. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Wow, that was unnecessarily difficult. 154. I suppose if you had Harbor Freight containers, you could use them for this. These would probably work fine in Harbor Freight, but I live in Canada and the border's been closed since before I started doing this whole diamond painting thing. So I have not made it to a Harbor Freight, although it sounds like my kind of store. Tools and containers, oh my. Okay. 3837. 3837 is in here. I love the colors. These colors are to die for. This will be such a fun painting. And I can't start it for another 4 days. That's okay. I have other paintings that need doing, that need finishing, even. But I wanted to have this done and ready so that I can post and start as soon as I can. Got a couple kit ups I'm going to have to do because there's a few events I'm going to be in, which also means that there's a couple of things I need to finish. 739. No. No. Aha. 739. I'm just kind of eyeballing what I think is probably the heaviest of these bags. Now, if you are not somebody who enjoys kitting up, you could very easily just use these bags as they are, or even add these stickers to the bags so that you have the symbols on the bags, if you wanted to. There are lots of people who work straight out of the baggies and love doing it. I'm just not a fan. I like baggies for my spare storage when I'm done, but as far as my regular day-to-day in and out, no thank you. 993 should be in here. And we are all different. And that's okay. Because this world would be a seriously boring ass place if we were all the same. It wouldn't that. Now, I will preach from the heavens that I think everybody needs an extra dose of empathy to recognize the fact that we are all different and we all react to things differently. But the fact that we are different is not the problem. The fact that we don't deal well with the fact that people are different is the problem. That's a problem that we need to work on. 954. Like, my experience as a white Canadian woman is going to be very different from the experience of who's largely lived in Ontario most of her life. Is going to be very different from the experience of a white Canadian woman who lived in the Maritimes her whole life. My experience as a white Canadian woman who's moved around a lot but has lived in Ontario her whole life is going to be very different from somebody who's lived in this area her whole life and hasn't had the experience of living in other places. My experience is going to be very different from an immigrant to Canada who's only lived here a little while. My experience is going to be different from that of somebody who lives in the US. There's going to be parallels, but it's going to be different. My experience is going to be different. I've never really held much to a religion. I identify, if anything, really pagan. But my experience is going to be different than somebody who has been raised very much in the Christian faith or Hindu faith or Jewish faith. My experience is going to be different than somebody whose skin color is different than mine. Because as much as it shouldn't be in 2021, that shit does actually matter. What you look like does actually matter. It shouldn't. It sucks that it still does. But it does, and we have to recognize that. And it's not enough for us to just say that we're colorblind. Because we're really not. Seamless. And I have to recognize that being born pale as the freaking snow is going to give me a different experience than somebody whose skin color is different than mine. And probably not in a good way, since I don't feel that I've had a terribly charmed life. But I have the privilege of knowing that my skin color did not actively make the life that I had, that I already considered to be difficult, even more difficult. So yes, I've struggled with not having much money. But at no point did somebody keep me from having a better job that would get me better pay, or my husband for that matter. We were both white, because of the color of our skin. That's never been a factor for us. And that's why I, even though I am a white person, support Black Lives Matter. Because if the world believed that Black lives actually matter, if all lives matter was a thing, then we wouldn't be seeing the constant problem of the police murdering people of color. And that's less of a problem on my side of the border, but it's not. It's not a problem. It doesn't make any sense. It makes sense, sort of, in my brain. A very, very pointed example is how people of the First Nations are treated compared to those of us who are children of immigrants, no matter how far back that may be. Like, I've taken a look at my family tree. My family tree goes back in this country a great number of generations in all directions but one. My maternal grandmother was the sister of a war bride. Her sister married a Canadian soldier and came over. And she came over to accompany her and then fell in love with a Canadian. Got married, and my mother and her sisters were the result. But if I follow any other branch of my family back, we're talking 5, 6, 7, 8 generations, all Canadian. But that doesn't mean that there aren't immigrants back there. I just haven't delved far enough back to find. I'm white as the driven snow. There is some rumor, and you can kind of see it in my maternal grandfather, that there's some Indian blood there, but it's so far back it doesn't matter. Like, I have no idea even what creed that would be. I don't know what tribe it would be. I have no idea. And that's one of the reasons that I've been tinkering with genealogy of late. And doing what I think everybody who does genealogy does. Kick themselves for not taking advantage of resources in family members that have passed on while they were still here. But how much can you kick yourself, right? Like, I don't even have my father anymore, and my mother-in-law is gone. And I'm only in my early 40s. All of my grandparents, all my blood grandparents are gone. My mother's stepmother is still around. We won't talk about her for a variety of reasons. But all of my blood grandparents are gone. All my great-grands are gone. I met some of them. I remember meeting some of them. I know where a number of them are buried. My British grandmother was dead before I was born. She died around my age of cervical. I've heard ovarian cancer, I've heard cervical cancer, and I've heard breast cancer. I think she had all of those by the end, but I don't know what started it. And yes, my doctors are well aware of the history there. But yeah, she died on my mother's 17th birthday, so there's always been a little bit of tension there. So I'm trying to comb through records from another country for people I have no reference for. I have cousins. Well, actually, more my mother has cousins over there that she doesn't get to speak to or anything. I did meet an aunt, a great aunt who was living over there when I met one of my grandmother's sisters. She came down to visit when I was in middle school. I know she had children and probably grandchildren, but I don't know any of them. I guess. I don't even know what started me down this whole genealogy route. I think we were talking about people being different, and that led to races different, and yes, I will be watching the George Floyd trial because I find that stuff fascinating, and it makes for great background noise while you're diamond painting. And even though it's not my country, and I do get that pointed out to me a lot in conversations on the internet, why do you care? It's not Canada. I care because where the U.S. goes, we tend to follow. And the mistakes the U.S. makes are mistakes we can avoid. They're our biggest trading partner. We have the largest unmanned land border in the world with the U.S. We're practically brother and sister countries. We may have somewhat different outlooks, but we're joined at the hip, almost literally. So what happens in the U.S. matters. Maybe it shouldn't, but it does. Here's one more of these guys. Which one do I want? We'll do 3766. This is going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to doing this painting. The painting itself reminds me of like an adventure hook. Like it's a setting for an adventure story. It's a setting for a D&D campaign. It's the kind of painting that makes you wonder where this place is, what's going on there. Like, I don't normally do landscapes. But this is such a cool one. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there that love their Chuck Pinsons, who does beautiful landscapes. Not gonna lie, they're pretty. But in general, landscapes don't interest me. Okay, now we get the question of how am I going to do this. So I'm definitely taking the canvas number off. Okay. Mostly what I need on here is because it's going to be sitting something like this. Mostly what I need on here is the symbol. There we go. So there's a Y. For the symbol. Come on. You're going to be difficult, aren't you? Come on. Really? Like, I expect that when I look through and see what everybody else is working on for this project, I'm probably going to see a lot of Chuck Pinsons and Dominic Davisons. There's going to be a lot of DACs. I wouldn't be surprised to see people doing this one too. I mean, it's awesome, not gonna lie. I love it. Okay, so 519, which is one of the main area codes in this area. It's not my area code because I have a cell phone and no landline. But back when we had landlines, it was a 519 area code. Okay. I'm just gonna label these up. This is an E. It's 371. I have to watch because there's a rounded corner here. Try not to overlap that because if I've got a flapping bit there, then it can get caught on stuff. $371. Okay. That's been garbage. Now we got this check mark. 3822. Come on. Okay. Let's try a different corner. I used to read mystery books all the time when I was a kid. My grandparents gave me, or my grandfather was cleaning out, I was like 6. I was really young for them. They were cleaning out the basement after my Aunt Sherry. 3822. Let's trim this down slightly. I want it to be legible. Here we go. I don't have to worry too much about quantities because all of these are the same size now, so there's no, well, maybe that could fit into a smaller one. 3822. 554. No flying out of there. 554. Oh, it's a music note. Or a quarter note, actually. Yes, I have retained something from my music classes of many years ago. Many years ago. They're a quarter and 8. Now I'm second guessing myself. I think that's a quarter. I was never world's best at reading music anyway. I worked much better from... I learned much better by rote. I could read music. I just wasn't very good at it. But I had a great memory and a good ear, so I could fake it really well. I was the girl who we could be singing the Messiah, Handel's Messiah, and I'd have my book closed because I just knew it. Nobody else did. I did. And I would get in crap because I had to have my book closed and nobody else would. It's like, why do I have to hold it open? I know it. Could I do that now? No. Just a bit of a stubborn little creature. Still am. Still a stubborn creature. Very much a stubborn creature. I'm the kind of person who you tell somebody a rule and I'll have to try and figure out why that rule is there. What is the purpose behind that rule? And if the purpose behind that rule makes sense to me, then I'll follow it. If the purpose behind that rule does not make sense to me, then I won't follow it. I'm every teacher's worst nightmare. I'm ornery and contrarian, and that's just the way I am. And we have a Z. A pink Z. 3731. Yeah, so I'm going to be kitting up over the next couple of days 3 different paintings, possibly 4. We'll see. This one is for the Get Your Big On event. I also have one for the Love of Fandom that I'll be kitting up. I'm trying to get another painting finished before I kit up that one, but I'm going to have to kit it up in a few days because I can start it on the 1st, and it's a big one. I'm doing a Avengers 5 panel. But that's going to take the place of my lap paintings because since it's a 5 panel and I have it split apart, the paintings, each painting in itself isn't that big. And I like to have a painting that's small enough to fit onto a lap desk for when I go upstairs and watch TV with my husband. I mean, the big ones I can work on down here. It may take a little finagling to get them to fit on my card table, but I can usually figure it out. But it's going to be kind of hard to work on a 100 by 60 in front of my TV without, in my small living room, without inconveniencing absolutely everybody else in there. So I want something that I can pretty much contain on my lap. Right now my lap painting is actually a long mosaic sticker. It's going to go on my spare diamond storage. $9.87. And this one has me a little bit worried because I'm not sure if that's the orientation those lines are going to be in now that I've moved them all around. Yet the bigger labels I'm not worried about that on because, like, if they're upside down, then the numbers would be upside down too, and I'd be able to tell. But now that I've cut them apart, it's like, was that the right orientation for those lines? Like, this is a Y, this is an E, this is check mark. Like, these ones haven't been a problem so far, but that one I'm a little worried on. I may be out to lunch on that. And this one here is a V, which I can very clearly see, so when I get it on there, I won't accidentally put it upside down. But I'm not sure about those lines. I may have those backwards. But I don't see anything else I would confuse them with. So I think I'll be okay. Oh, come on. In theory, these stickers are less work. In theory. The nice thing is I don't have to rely on my drawing. I can sing, but I can't draw. My drawing is rather abhorrent. It's not good. Okay, so I have two more to do, 3853 and 3866, which are right here. Pay no attention to the funny crystal ring. That was not a good idea. Fortunately, I've only got two left, so I can't screw it up too badly. Come on. Get in there. This is getting really frustrating. There we go. 3853. And that's going to have the T. And the 4 is going to go 3866. Okay. T. It's lovely oranges. This is likely sky. Eight, 5, 3. Okay. Come on. Really? Go 4. Ha! 3866. Here we go. Last one. Got two little drills right at the bottom there. Come on. Nope. Okay. Look at that. So that's all the drills taken care of. Okay. I had attempted to rearrange these into like alphabetical and then number and then symbols, but the way these fit in here didn't really work out. But I am going to take these three little guys out and set them aside in my container O containers to make room for my extra 310 and 312. So I'm going to set those in there. Those are going to go into a holding area. And then these are going to go in there. And I am going to stick this on the cover. Since it has a sticker, might as well use it. There we go. Like I said, that's not the whole sticker because that's, well, that is the whole sticker, but that's not the whole painting. This is a very long painting. Okay, so those I'm going to set over here. And this I'm going to set over here. And we're going to get into the actual canvas. It is a poured glue. I keep it in the tube because what's better than a tube for a painting, really? But it is actually the wrong way. Okay, come on, camera. Catch up. Zoom. Hey! And now we're going to look at the painting. Yep. So I'm going to slide this over as much as I can. Stop that. I have a mess that you can't see down here. And Caitlin left her glass of water. Which is going to get knocked over when I do this. So this is the bottom part of it here. Do I have a useful pool noodle? I do. Here. Come to Mama. I am so organized, you guys. So I have the pool noodle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around the pool noodle this way out. Because I always start at the top and then push the completed sections away from me. Eventually, especially with a painting this long, rolling the completed side up. So I will have this eventually like a scroll. But there's the grotto, and there's the bridge that you can see in the rest of it. The lovely sunset. Lovely scalloped edges. So lovely. And then you have the sky with that slowly darkening with the lighthouse there. Okay. Now it looks like I have the lines going the right way. It's always good. So that's as far as I'm going to roll it for now. Come on. And I used these binder clips, which I got a jar of at Dollarama for, I don't know, does it say on there? Probably $3 or $4. It actually came in this jar. got a few schools stationery supplies like that. So what I'll do is I will let it hang off the edge of my table like this. And then I will put my drills on here and start over here. And then as I move this over, I will move this onto the completed section and work over here, and then move my way down. And letting the painting as I need. And I'll slide the thing under it. But that is pretty much all I need to do. I could put washi tape on the excess glue, but there's like no excess on the top. It starts right at there. There is a little bit of an excess there. I'll probably just cover that with washi as I work. I'm not sure if I'm going to use release papers on this yet or not. I almost don't want to cover up how pretty this painting is. Because, I mean, look at that. That's just the top, and it just keeps getting better. You go into the sunset and the water, and then, oh, there's a ship that's sunk down there. There's a waterfall down, which you cannot see. On this side, there's a little waterfall here, and it continues down here. And there's the sunset. And, yeah. It's an adventure all the way down. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. So thank you, Sherry, for doing this event again. I was sort of sad I missed it last time, although I was not ready to be doing a large painting in May last year. I was just going, what's this diamond painting thing going? Ooh, shiny. But yes, this is going to be my kit up picture. For Sunset Crossing. So thank you so much for joining me and putting up with me fighting with stickers. Like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Keep it spooky, guys. Bye.